What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Run Your Mouth podcast. Everybody bailed tonight, but that's okay. I'm drinking vodka Red Bull. I got enough energy for 4 people. Do I care that the gayest of the mics isn't here? No. Do I care that Joseph Roberts hasn't showed up for, I don't know, how many weeks in a row has Joseph Roberts not shown up for? Mike Harrington, the only loyal soldier contributing to the Run Your Mouth podcast. How many weeks do you think he hasn't shown up for?
It's probably, 3 in a row now?
Is that 3 strikes and you're out? Are we playing by baseball rules here?
Wait, no, he was here for my birthday 2 weeks ago, so he gets a pass.
But that was a half. That was almost like a foul ball situation.
Yeah, but he brought cake, so it was kind of like the foul ball that hit the foul pole, so it still counts as a homer.
So it's like an extra life. It's like you know what I mean? So he resets. All right, fine. Joseph Roberts not thrown off the show yet. Hopefully he'll actually join us next week.
Hopefully he has cake.
Think we're gonna hear from Yosef later, and I got a stacked house of good topics. So what do we even need these people for, anyways?
Absolutely nothing.
So first and foremost, if you're out there, email us. robsnewsroom@gmail.com. We're putting together our summer porch tour. Just 2 weeks away, start of June. We got to get that thing cooking. And we got our first email in from a fan. We booked him for August. He's not available before August. But listen to what he wrote us. This is a true listener. You ready?
Yes, sir.
A little about me. I'm a POTP and RYM listener and a principled libertarian. I work as an account executive in media sales and always appreciate your referencing your time on the sales floor. I'm a Christian conservative just like you and Dave, as you may have guessed from my last name being Klein. I have stories of getting fucked by the government, so I could contribute to the episode as well. Also, my wife has big titties. Woo! There you go. Gets right to the important part. Then he goes on to say, I have a barbecue. He sends pictures of our porch. He shows the screened-in porch. He goes on to tell us about the bars that he has in town with some good pussy in it. College pussy. So everybody else out there, you better step up your game. If your wife has a nice rack, you've got a barbecue, you've got a porch, hit us up, robsnewsroom@gmail.com.
Hell yeah. Especially if your wife has big old titties.
Yeah, we don't want to be invited to any houses with wives with little titties. That's not what we're about. If we're gonna,
I am an all titty man.
You don't discriminate.
That is slander.
I don't either. I like skinny chicks that are you can be flat chested and I can work with it. I like a little boyishness in my ladies.
That's a bridge too far, sir. I do like tiny titties, though.
You like specifically tiny?
I mean, I'm down for whatever.
All right. Well, as long as we're talking about titties, did you see anything about Alabama, most restrictive abortion laws yet? Did you see that whole hoopla, the hurrah? Everyone was going nuts about it.
Yeah, dude. I got so excited to see a woman sign it into law.
Oh yeah, that was kind of funny. That it was and she looked like Mother Goose, like a sweet old lady. I didn't see that much of the footage, but I did just see like that moment of her signing into law. Are you bringing up a picture of her? Oh, perfect. Let's take a look. Nah, she looks nasty.
Yeah, dude, she looks evil.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's that matching red jacket with the lipstick with those horribly yellow teeth that just says, "I'll eat your fucking soul."
It's very Dolores Umbridge of her.
Who's Dolores Umbridge?
From Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah. She's got a little bit of that vibe. You ever seen the movie Throw Mama from the Train?
Yes, sir.
Not that she looks like that, but that, to me, is the ultimate, nasty old lady character. This old lady has more of that vibe than kind, sweet, bake you cookies kind of old lady.
She's 2019 fucking Throw Mama from a Train. I like it.
Yeah, all right, you get what I'm saying. But anyways, I'm reading about this law, and I'm thinking I want to take a trip down to Alabama and father some illegitimate children. That's my goal. You know what? I don't want to have to be a dad. That sucks. I don't want to and you don't want to know about your kids. If you're not going to be around to raise them, that just feels shitty and guilty. But I do want to procreate. I think it's important. I think it's nice to sow your oats and have offspring. And it's particularly nice if they catch you once you're 60 and they're like, "Hey, I'm an adult now. I don't need anything from you. And by the way, I'm your kid."
You know what? I love it. Especially because you don't have to spend that much time in Alabama.
That's true. I'm just saying, you go down there, you go on a run. And by the way, I find some of those southern ladies to be the most attractive. So you just got to go down there for a little bit. You go on a run. You bang a lot of chicks. You never give them the right phone numbers, and you just hope if you spray your seed in enough of them, maybe one of them sticks. They can't track you down. They can't abort it. Now you're a father.
I love it, Robbie. This is a foolproof plan. What could go wrong?
Okay, next news story. This is a Fox News story that apparently Taco Bell is creating a Taco Bell hotel. And I assume that the hotel will just be a place that serves Taco Bell and just has a lot of private rooms for diarrhea. That's it. I feel like that's going to be the vibe of the Taco Bell hotel. Now, let me ask you. I've eaten some fast food in my day. I've never once eaten Taco Bell. I haven't been intrigued. It doesn't look good. It seems like the lowest of the low in terms of eating fast food. I've never resorted to it. When have you eaten Taco Bell? What is the right occasion? What do you order? Tell me about this.
Last night. True story.
Okay. I don't want to miss one detail. Don't cut out the whole order out of being shy. Like, this is not the moment to cut back. You know what I mean? We're fat fucks on this podcast. We own it. I want to know the totality of what you ordered.
So here's the thing. Normally, that is my move, right? Is to go insane at this place. Like, go get 3-4 things off the value menu plus a meal, large drink, maybe even those like little churro twists at the end. This time, I was in a rush. I knew I was going to be on a bicycle, so I kept it super light. I got one beef quesarito.
What is a beef quesarito?
Well, so it's like a quesadilla, right? Like, picture a quesadilla, but then unwrap it. So just a bunch of gooey cheese in a tortilla shell. It's like nicely melted,
right?
And then take a burrito, right, and then drop it in the middle of that unfolded quesarito.
It sounded like something that needed a burrito on the outside. Yeah.
No, burrito on the inside.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Quesadilla on the outside. So it's like layer of quesadilla.
Right.
Inside is like the cheese, and then when you bite through, you get into a full-on burrito inside. It was delicious.
How big is it?
Like that big.
And what does a queso burrito run you?
Quesarito. All told, the order along with two mini shredded chicken quesadillas and a drink came out to like $11.
All right.
Yeah,
That's okay.
it's not too bad.
Not too bad. Let me ask you this. Whenever I'm in a hotel, if I'm in a hotel with other people, I like to wake up before them and shit in the lobby.
I'm no stranger to that move.
Yeah, because then you don't have to bother everyone else in the room. You don't have to worry about waking anybody up. You don't have to worry about stinking. Like, that's the first thing I look at when I check into a hotel. I'm like, does this lobby have a nice bathroom that I'm going to be able to shit in the morning?
Pro move, if the lobby doesn't have a nice bathroom, but it does have a conference center, typically that's going to be pretty empty first thing in the morning. So you can stop like a flight early.
Or like the pool and gym area. That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the bathrooms in those areas are always going to be messed up by kids, and that's just my own prejudice, but right. I imagine that's where kids spend the most time, and I imagine kids as being just not clean at all. But they're like, like I said, that second floor, it's usually like the first floor is a lobby, second floor is like gym and pool on one side, conference room on the other. You go to that conference room side, you're golden. And there's usually like 3 or 4 bathrooms in there.
You know what? Next time I'm in, what's that knocking?
I think that's just the people who work upstairs.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right. So apparently, when I first read the article, it appeared like this was going to be a full hotel. I'm talking like the same way there's a Ritz-Carlton or a Hilton, there was going to be the Taco Bell hotel, which sounds completely ridiculous. It turns out that it's a pop-up hotel. So this is a marketing stunt. For a couple days, you're going to be able to book your hotel. If you're a real Taco Bell extremist, you'll be able to book yourself at the Taco Bell hotel. Now, first question for you, Mike Harrington, as a person who actually eats Taco Bell. If they did that in New York City, would that excite you? Would you be like, holy shit, I like Taco Bell so much, I'm going to call up one of these ladies I haven't been able to close and be like, you're not going to believe this. There's a Taco Bell hotel. I got us one of the rooms. It's sold out.
Robbie, how low do you think I scrape the bottom of the barrel when I'm looking for potential mates? Like, that's real bad. If you think the Taco Bell hotel is going to seal the deal when nothing else I could do would, that's saying hurtful.
I'm not familiar with Taco Bell lifestyle. I'm wondering how excited people could possibly be for Taco Bell. You're a Taco Bell guy. How many nights a week would you say you eat Taco Bell?
I mean, it's maybe once every 3 months. You just happen to catch me.
Okay.
I was running out of Justin's show, Funny for Fido, last night, and I had to get back over here for SDR. I was like, I haven't eaten anything all day. I got time for something real quick.
Isn't that a scary thing, though, to kind of throw in your stomach on the fly before a work event? I get that it's fast, or do you have a strong stomach?
I have a fairly strong stomach. It was more mixing, like, the fact that I was going to have to eat this while walking. Like, I had to, like, basically wolf it down within 3 blocks and then jump on a city bike and then bike down here. Yeah. That was the bad part. Like, that just doesn't feel good.
No, none of that feels good. So apparently this isn't a full-time hotel because, I mean, how much Taco Bell hotel customer business can you really do? It's a pop-up. And I would like to meet the people who are selling these pop-ups. I mean it, because I work sales, I work media sales, and let me tell you, it's pretty hard to convince people that marketing is going to work. How the hell are you convincing people of, like, these pop-ups are super expensive, and I don't think they do jack shit. I think you're basically looking at two millennials. It's one attractive millennial who got a job at the marketing company, and the other attractive millennial that got a job at, like, blank corporation, and then you have one person just basically calls the other, and they're just talking, like, their little attractive millennial language to each other.
Yeah, I mean, that could be. That could be a possibility. I think the flip side of it, though, is, like, I was reading this, and, like, they're going to have sauce packets as the, like, pool floaties, and they're going to have, like, all kind of crazy...
That's the whole point. It's supposed to be a marketing stunt so that people take pictures and they post on Instagram, and it creates a good buzz. Maybe I'm so out of touch that I don't realize that works.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, it's one of those things where now, like you said, if it was in New York, I wouldn't have gone, but I'm seeing this here, and it's like...
You want to take a vacation? You're thinking about
check it out. Kinda.
How much money do you think this cost them to rent the hotel, theme it for... Like, what do you think the total cost that they have to cut a check to a marketing company to pull this off?
$350K, I want to say, maybe. Like, because I'm just thinking, like, what property is going to be like a hotel that you can do this? You know what I mean? Like,
it depends on how much you really have to theme it. Like hotels, you know, they host porn events. It's not like it depends on to what extent you're overhauling the whole place to look Taco Bell-y.
So what I pictured this as, though, is like Taco Bell's taken over this hotel. So I was picturing like a rundown, no longer being used hotel that they were going to whip into shape for this event. In my mind, that's how I pictured it.
All right. Well, if you're out there and you're part of the pop-up shop marketing game, you've experienced a pop-up, or you think they're completely stupid, or you got any information or insight on this whatsoever, robsnewsroom@gmail.com. Tell us about your pop-ups. Tell us about your wife's titties. Invite us to your porch. Barbecue for us. And lastly, if you got a tale about the government robbing you of your wealth, robsnewsroom@gmail.com. What's up, Chris? How are you, man?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing well. So you just finished your shift, right?
Yeah.
What are your all right, well, let's intro Chris. I'm very excited to have Chris on because I think a lot of us go through life, we try really hard in school or we work really hard at our jobs, and we have this idea in our head that, man, I have to succeed at this because if I don't, I might be stuck doing a shitty job. I might get stuck as a janitor. But then we got people like Chris who are working those jobs and love it. And so there you have it. If you're working your shitty office job, you're slaving away trying to avoid a particular outcome like becoming a janitor, Chris is here to tell you it's not that bad. You can relax. It's actually a pretty good lifestyle. So Chris, lay it on us.
So it's pretty great. I basically just get to go on autopilot and not really think of doing anything. Just put in my headphones, listen to the Run Your Mouth podcast until lunchtime, and then I can enjoy my food and then just go back to autopilot again and like nothing's happening.
It's just autopilot to lunch, autopilot to dinner, and that's why we appreciate Chris reaching out. Chris said, hey man, I spend my whole morning and it's all about lunch. That's what I do. I show up and I'm thinking about lunch, but I need some new lunch suggestions. I need lunch consultants who can help me out on what might be some better meals that I could be eating at work, which, Harrington, who's better than us at being lunch consultants? I mean...
Yeah, there's really not many, dog.
We're fucking experts at lunch.
Yeah.
But Chris, before we get into lunch and before I make those suggestions, I got some questions for you. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, first is, are any of the tasks that you do at work, like, particularly fun to you? Like, so for example, I've done some, like, tiling in my life, or I've done very limited carpentry, and I actually find those tasks to be not just zoning out, but it's also kind of fulfilling because you kind of get that satisfactory feeling of having completed a task. I could also see, like, using one of those, like, waxers on a floor as being kind of relaxing. So, like, day to day, are there any of the tasks that you kind of, like, look forward to, or any of them kind of pleasant?
Well, we only get to use the waxers on the like during spring break and stuff.
Are they fun though?
Kind of. I mean, they're not as hard to control as you would think as they come off to be.
Right.
But they can if you hold on to it lightly, it'll go all over the place. So
I got you. So you've had a couple of those wax spills. Now, how did you get into the janitor lifestyle? Was your dad a janitor, his dad before him? Were you trained in the fine arts? How did you get into this racket?
Well, I was working at Rosati's, and my dad works at this district. And there was an opening, and he showed me a position. And
is this a government job?
Yeah, that's why I said ironically, because I agree with Dave a lot, and now I'm taking other people's taxpayers' money.
Who gives a shit, man? Good for you. No, I'm not lying. Listen, it's a fucking racket, and we didn't choose to create this racket. You didn't sit down and go, hey, this is the system I'm going to design. And let me tell you, if you can get one of these good union jobs where you can make a buttload of cash and live a good lifestyle, work in a job that you don't completely hate, you're winning, good for you. Don't even think twice about that. So tell me, because I work really hard and don't get paid all that well, how good is the lifestyle as a union janitor?
Oh, pretty good. I'm about to move out on my own, so I can afford my own place to rent. With all the expenses to that, getting a new car.
Got ya. How old are you, Chris? Mike, did we just lose him? What just happened? Fuck it, I'm gonna call him on my cell phone.
His connection wasn't that stable to begin with.
Fuck it, I'm just gonna call him.
Is that working now?
Yeah, let's try this. Chris, just answer your phone.
Okay. Okay. Hello.
Okay, Harrington.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute him on this side.
Can you
Yep.
turn?
Try now.
Is this mic on? Mic number?
Oh,
The problem is you're gonna get the feedback of me.
here, try it now.
Hey man, are you there? Yeah. All right, keep talking for me.
Yeah, keep talking.
Actually, let's try it speaker. Okay. That's not that bad. Just keep talking for me.
No, that's manageable.
Okay, keep talking. Going on.
I actually think it's going to be better from... Where's the speaker output on this? I think it's right there. Okay. So, Chris, out of curiosity, how old are you and what state are you living in?
I'm 22 in Illinois.
Oh, man, so you're young as fuck. And did you even go to college?
I went to the community college for 1 semester.
And then you were just like, fuck this, it's not for me.
Yeah, no, but I plan on going to a trade school, so that should
That's actually
make
smart.
something of that.
Yeah, what kind of trade are you thinking to pick up?
Probably HVAC.
That's good.
That's yeah.
No, I gotta tell you, I'm very envious of people that are skilled laborers. I'm a person who I have ADD. I like working with my hands. I like being paid like a good hourly wage. I like completing tasks, and I also like when I leave work being done with work. I've had some jobs where that was true. When you close off your work day, like sometimes HVAC, you can work a 12-hour day, but at the end, when you leave, you're done. It's over. The work that I have, I've had to readjust myself to the fact that it's never actually done. I'm always leaving work on the table, which completely drives me nuts. So I think that's really cool. And so what are you going to do? So you're basically going to take the HVAC classes at nights and on weekends and then, make a good living during the day?
Yeah, probably. So I'll probably try just to move up to first shift at my work, which is when all the maintenance guys work.
Got you. And I bet you probably pick up some decent trade stuff even at your job in terms of like if something breaks, someone might know how to fix it, and then you can shadow them and learn a little bit.
Yeah, there are a few basic things that we do.
So that's fucking awesome. I respect what you're doing. I wish I had done that. You showed up to school. You're like, fuck this. This sucks. Your dad gets you a union job as a janitor. You're not a fucking bum. You're working a full-time job. You're making a decent paycheck. You're going to go live outside of your parents' house. I didn't make it out of my parents' house, I think, till I was like, 26, 27. So you're 5 years ahead of me. And then once you're out of the house, you're going to take skilled labor classes. And, 10 years from now, you could have your own HVAC business.
That's true. Yeah, that's definitely something I could try.
Fuck yeah, man.
Good money.
No, dude, I respect that. Good for you. I like the lifestyle you're living. Now, getting back into janitor world, do you ever pull, like, are there any pranks that you'll pull on kids? Like, if some kid pisses you off? Like, I remember when I was in school, at one point, we found, like, the circuit breakers, and so we used to have a lot of fun just like turning off the lights in random classrooms, turning off the heat in the teacher's lounge. That was like a little crafty prank. No one ever busted us for it. I don't know why the electricity boxes weren't locked, but they were all labeled, and when we figured that out, we would just turn off light like in the computer lab when other kids were in there. We were fucking pricks. So like if a kid like does something shitty to you, will you go into their locker overnight and take a dump in it? Or like, what's some shit that you're pulling on people?
No, I wish I could do something, but I've only been there for just for the year last month. But no, they do a lot of disgusting shit, especially in the bathroom. So I wish I could get back at them, but I don't know if I try to pull a prank on them, I might risk my job.
Yeah, it's also
right now.
It's also excuse me. It's really hard to bust kids for taking filthy dumps. I gotta tell you, I remember this when I was in 8th grade. That was the thing when I was in school. You never wanted to take a shit in school. Were you guys the same way?
I would hold until I got home.
Yeah,
I hate doing it in public.
That was the thing. When I was in school, you never wanted to take a shit in school. I remember once when I was in 8th grade, Harrington. You got a different take on that?
I love shitting in public. It's my favorite.
What do you mean?
There's something about it where it's just like, yo, man, like, whatever. I don't care what kind of a mess I make in this Barnes & Noble. It's going to be awesome.
None of that makes sense to me. I'm like, as an adult, that's mostly why I go home at night. That's mostly it. I want to overeat, and I want to be able to use my own bathroom. That's it. My entire life is go home and overeat so that you're not in public with a full stomach. But Harrington's a different animal. I remember once when I was in 8th grade, first through 8th grade, I maybe shat in school twice, maybe. And that was back when I was, I don't know why I'm coughing so much. That was back when I was a healthy dude. I remember once in 8th grade, I really needed to take a shit. And I was like, fuck it, I gotta take the shit. I went to the bathroom, and like, you're trying to be real fast. I don't know why. You don't want to get busted in the bathroom. Like, that people are gonna look at your sneakers and know that it was you. That's a weird thing as a kid, where you're just like, people are gonna know that I was the one who took a shit. I don't know why that's such a big deal.
No.
Anyways.
I'm still like that. Yeah, that's, if someone even walks in the bathroom, like, I will, if I need to go, I will like check in there to see if anyone's in there. Like, even if just someone walks in, I'm like, I feel so uncomfortable. I'm like, I just can't do it.
I'm like you, man. That's why you're a fan of the show. You just get me as a human being. That sums me up and my entire personality. Anyways, I got to use the bathroom in 8th grade, trying to get this thing out as quickly as possible, clean up this operation, get out of there. I shit out a clean log, maybe a 1 or 2 wiper at most. And I'm talking like, I haven't shat out a log like this in 10 years. You become an adult, you're anxious, you end up with IBS, you eat too many cookies. Everything that comes out of me, it's a fucking mess. But back in the day, I remember when I used to poop out some big old healthy logs. Maybe you'd take 1 dump a day. It would be 1 big one, and then you were done. I miss that about life. Were you guys ever like, that's just, now I get like the thin stringy poops. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with my stomach. Like, but it's not a good situation. But you guys still producing logs? Are you healthy?
Occasionally, it depends. I mean, I put a hot sauce on a lot of stuff, so it's not always the prettiest. Is that
what's ruining my log game? What about you, Harrington? Are you throwing out logs?
No, I mean, it's, day to day. Could be a Jackson Pollock painting one day. Could be like straight up healthy Lincoln logs the next.
I'm just saying, know. I very rarely have a thick log, but on this moment in 8th grade, I laid a thick log in that toilet so big, I went to flush, all the water went out, that log just sat there. I went to flush again. All the water comes out. The log just sat there. And then I made that 8th grade decision of, all right, I guess it's time to make a run for it. And to this day, that means the janitor probably had to reach in there with the glove, throw that shit out or break it up, and then fucking flush the toilet. So I throw the question to you, and I'm sorry to that janitor, really nice guy. I hung out with him a couple times, sweet fellow. What are you going to do? What's the worst bathroom situation you've had to confront yet?
Oh, man. I don't know what's worse than the kids they literally put shit on the wall. Or when they throw the toilet paper next to the toilets and pee all over that because apparently it's funny or something. Like, is right next to it. And then I gotta get a glove, and I'm like, oh, God.
Oh, that's
These kids, man.
That's a kid classic. Harrington, you hear that one? You throw the toilet paper next to it, and you just piss on the toilet paper. It's being an asshole to the janitor.
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly to my other friends in college, but yeah.
I dealt with that today, actually, again. So that was fun.
Yeah, just the fucking mess of toilet paper on the floor in the bathroom. Horrifying.
Yeah.
Now, what would you do if you actually, walked into a bathroom and you busted a kid? What would you do?
I think I would just stare at him with a very disappointed face, shake my head and look down and just walk out. I don't know what I would say. I would just be so, I'd have to be in the situation to know for sure.
Yeah, I hear that. I remember when I was in high school, this is a weird thing. Were you a shitty kid at all, Chris? Did you ever break stuff, car windows, just kind of do not nice things as I mean, you're still a kid. You're 22, so I guess, all of 7 years ago when you were 14 or 15, did you ever do just garbagey things?
I don't know if I did shitty things, but I was one of those kids that was an asshole to the teacher because I thought I was funny, and then it made me the cool kid in class or whatever, so I was in detention all the time, but I didn't necessarily do shitty things.
That's it. I was the opposite in school because I learned early on I was really lazy and I didn't want to work hard, and that if you just weren't a prick to the teacher, they would just pass you. So it just wasn't worth making their life. I learned really early on, if you're just a sweetheart to the teacher and you don't want to do any of the work, they're not really going to bust your balls. Whereas if you're the kid who's acting out in class and you're not doing the homework, then you're kind of fucked. So I was always kind of, not that I was good at it, I just didn't cause, I would stare out the window, I would doodle, I would take a lot of bathroom breaks, I wouldn't show up, but I was never shitty to teachers because I always needed their sympathy at the end of the semester. But back to what you were with the, being a piece of shit, we used to live in this dorm in high school, and we used to, it was a fun thing. We used to collect things to throw off the roof of the building into, this little alcove area. We would literally, I'd walk down the street one night, someone leave a TV, and you'd be like, oh, fun. I can pull this back to the dorm and throw it off the roof of the building and watch it break. That was fun. And then every Saturday, or not Saturday, maybe it was Friday, this dude used to have to go into, the pit area and clean it all out. Every time. He would just go in there and clean it all out. And then we also used to do this thing. We had this, We used to graffiti up the dorm that we lived in. On the walls, we used to write F.U. Joe, Fujo, which stood for F.U. Joe. Joe was the head dorm counselor. And every single day, I'd come off school, and we would literally graffiti the hallway of the dorms, Fujo. And then one day, I actually came back to the dorm in the middle of the day, and I saw the janitors who had to, repaint it, and it just wasn't funny anymore. You know what I mean? It was funny because we're fuck this fucking yeshiva, fuck Joe, fuck this guy who's making us wake up for prayer services at 8 a.m. I'm a badass. I'm going to write F.U. Joe on all the hallways in the schoolroom. And then you saw the guys had to clean it up, and it just becomes not funny. So you got to, somehow, appeal to the kids' humanity somehow. You know what I mean? Have a whole meeting.
Yeah, no, totally. I feel that, like I said, I would just mostly just fuck with the teachers. But now that I'm the janitor and I get there right before they're about to leave, so I get to know some of them, and then I started to feel bad. So I totally understand that because I'm oh, these are just normal people doing their job, But when you're in high school, you're oh yeah, teacher, fuck them. But now that I kind of see behind the scenes, I totally get that.
What if the next time you have to clean up like poop or a pissed on toilet thing, you just film it and then play like Sarah McLachlan's like In the Arms of an Angel?
Oh yeah, not bad.
It?
And then you post on Instagram. All these kids are on Instagram. They'll see it.
I can't hear Mike, so I'm not sure what he said.
He was saying it would be a good idea to, film yourself having to clean it up, and like those commercials that try and get you to like save dogs, play like that Sarah McLachlan, like In the Arms of an Angel.
Oh God.
Post that shit on Instagram. Those kids will be crying, the little eyes out, and then next thing you know, they'll be, urinating into the toilet like actual human beings.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's a good point.
All right, now, do they drug test you at all at your job?
They did when you first apply, you have to get a background check, you have to get a drug test and all that. So,
all right, now
I waited 3 months to apply, and then I was able to pass.
Okay, now I'm not going to put this video out. Your full name's not here. We only know the state that you live in. I feel like if I was a janitor working at a school, I might smoke a fair amount of weed to get through that day. Other than looking forward to lunch, you doing any drugs to get through the workday?
No, not at work.
Not at work. You wait till you get off and then you get started.
Yeah, no, I don't want to risk doing or losing my job. But when I worked at Rosati's, I used to show up every day.
Yeah, good for you.
So.
What about will you play the game of seeing how drunk you can get and how hungover you can show up to work and get through the day? That's a fun one.
I've done that. I've done that a couple times. That was
Well, the good thing is if you throw up somewhere,
really
you're the guy who cleans it up. You know what I mean? Like, I've been at jobs, if I throw up all over the place, I don't know how to clean it up. Like, I'm stuck with that mess and it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
You could cover your tracks, no problem.
That's true. Yeah, we have this like powdery stuff that you just throw all over. It absorbs it and it basically cleans it up for you.
Got you. Harrington, take a look at this kid. I feel like he's half really good looking, half looks like he'll shove a chick into a van and kill her.
Yeah, he's got like a very Bundy vibe.
You got a bit of a Bundy, pretty vibe. So on that note, are you banging any teachers? Are you hitting on teachers? What's your janitor lean while mopping game? How you picking up chicks?
It's funny. I don't know how to bring it up to girls when I first meet them. I'm like, well, like, how do you say that? Like,
that's like out of
yeah, I'm a janitor. Like,
that's like out of half baked. You're the master of the custodial arts. Here's your pitch. You know what you tell them? You tell them you got a great union job at the school and that you're in maintenance and that you're working towards your dream of owning your own HVAC business. Don't tell them janitor. Just say you're maintenance.
Or alternatively, just tell them, hey, girl, check out how I work this broomstick.
Maintenance, that's good cover.
Yeah, maintenance is good cover, and you're working towards your dream of owning your own HVAC business, but in the meantime, you have a union job, and so you're in a really good position. And then at some point, maybe they want to come to the school for lunch, and then you got, your cover's blown. Harrington, what were you trying to say?
Right.
I was saying, be like, hey, girl, check out how I work this broomstick. What's up?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Okay, so let's get to your lunch problem. So I get it. You're only 22. You're new to the lunch game. Now, let's try and delve into this a little bit. Firstly are you buying lunch? Are you preparing lunch? Eating the school's lunch? What does typical lunch look like? How long's your break? What kind of a budget are we working with here? Give us a few of the parameters.
Well, my lunch budget is my largest part of my budget. That is my most valuable part of my paycheck.
You should know my entire life savings is going to sandwiches, so we're on the same boat there.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I always bring lunch. Last summer I would go out every single day, and that took up a lot of money, so I had to stop doing that. But yeah.
So when you were going out for lunch, how long was your break? Like you were able to drive, I don't know, like how far are you from the closest sandwich shop? What kind of places were you going to? Were you mixing it up? You got to give me some details here so that I can, address the situation and make some recommendations.
Right, yeah. So there was a McDonald's and Taco Bell really close, and also Quiznos, which I was surprised that I didn't even know those were still open, but that's still pretty good. But those would be my top 3 places to go to.
So you would just go low-level junk food and now, like, if you're in a McDonald's, what are you picking up for lunch?
McDonald's, I'll usually get like the double quarter pounder with cheese probably, and a large Dr. Pepper.
All right, so just we got to put pause on this for 1 second. Harrington, I'm listening to this guy's lunch game. Thus far, I'm giving him an F.
Dude, this is an I. It's just incomplete.
I mean, this is sad.
Counts.
You're a janitor. You've got an entire day to plan your lunch. I would think by the time lunchtime comes around, you're going to 4 different places to pick up different items to concoct your own sandwich. You've got a strategy in place. This guy's not a real... You calling in telling me that this guy's obsessed with lunch. He's going to McDonald's for a couple quarter pounders. This is not a serious lunch guy. All right, fine.
This is gross.
Well,
So
I went to Taco Bell more, but yeah, regardless, I could be doing better.
you could be doing better. Are there no like good delis in your area? Like go to a good deli, get yourself a nice sandwich from a sandwich shop. You know?
Yeah, no, but we only have 30 minutes, so I got like 5 minutes to get there, 5 minutes to get back, and I want time to like enjoy it. So I don't have much time to like.
Man,
go all out. But if I'm outside of work, I will.
They got you union guys on the clock. Only a half hour for lunch. Then here's what I would do. I would spend the whole half hour picking up my lunch, and then spend like just while I was doing another activity, I would be like broom in one hand, meatball sub in the other, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? And then you go to the next room or whatever the next task is, pulling out garbage in one hand, eating a chicken parm in the other.
Get a little bit of spice of garbage in there.
Yeah, exactly. That flavors shit up. Okay, so now you started preparing your own lunch, which that's tough, man. I never cook for myself. Harrington, are you ever cooking for yourself?
It'd be a little difficult now, Rob.
Yeah, fair point. You'd have to make one of those hobo fires, cook it out of one of those metal trash cans, cooking up.
I can make some great beans.
Yeah, you make some fried up beans. We don't have to get into Harrington's tragic lifestyle. We're focused on you, your hopes and dreams as a janitor, hoping for HVAC gold, going for it, training. All right. So, what are you cooking for yourself?
If mostly just sandwiches from go to the deli from Jewel and then make my own sandwiches, or just some hamburger helper, some quick stuff.
All right, got to pause you there for 1 second. Harrington, I don't know much about hamburger helper. It sounds sad. It doesn't sound like you're okay. Now you're still living at home. You can't make your mom's not a lunch making lady. She can't put together a brown bag, banana, some pudding in there, maybe a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I feel like, or like an old school thermos, like one of those construction worker type operations, a nice thermos thing.
No, I pretty much do most of my life for myself. I'm sure if I asked, you definitely. I don't know. I like to do stuff myself.
All right, let me ask this. Would your mom get mad at you for cooking in the kitchen if you cleaned up after yourself? Like, do you have the option of kind of cooking for yourself in the kitchen?
Well, I rent my own place with 2 roommates.
You got 2 roommates. All right, but you're... What state did you say you were in again?
What state?
Yeah.
Oh, Illinois.
Illinois.
So he's 22 and he's about to just get his own spot? Confirm that, please.
Oh, so when you said, okay, this fucking janitor is living better than us, buddy.
Killing it.
I mean, he's calling in and making us look bad on our own show. He's making more money than us. He's 22. He's got a government job, and he's complaining that he's got to live with 2. I thought he was living at home. Apparently, he's just trying to get away from his 2 roommates. You know how many roommates Harrington has? All of New York City, okay? Everybody in New York City right now is his roommate. You know what my roommate is? It's the world's most miserable 36-year-old man. I don't even think he's 36. I think he's like 38. And I have my problems with alcoholism, but believe me, it's easy to think you're not an alcoholic when you show up and some dude is up to his 15th beer and he's watching the 9th rerun of what's the 2 gay guys who fix up houses together and then have sex with each other? What's that?
Property Brothers?
Yeah, the Property Brothers. He just watches that thing all right, whatever. Enough about Nick. He's a nice guy. I don't need a shit on him. He's not an alcoholic. He's a good dude. He's got a well-paying job, and, he's kind of the adult in our relationship. Back to you. We're focused on your lunches. We're trying to fix what you're doing here. Here's what I would be doing if I were you. What time do you got to get into work every day?
2:30.
2:30. So you got, 2:30 in the afternoon?
Yeah.
What time are you taking your lunch break? You're not having lunch before you go to work?
I don't because I am lazy as shit. I wake up at 12:30.
Oh, I like this kid. I like you, buddy.
Yeah, I wake up at 12:30. I lay in bed until 1. Then I get up.
This kid's an American hero.
On the couch until 1:20.
Yeah.
Then I get ready and leave.
Well, I got to tell you, I claim to be a comedian, but my funniest comedy work is every day at 1 p.m. when I first show up to work and I go, well, it's 1 p.m. It's time for lunch. And then I leave and go get lunch. So you're doing something similar to me. You show up to work at 2:30, and then what time is your lunch break?
Well, the lunch is at 7:30, but we have a 15-minute break at 5.
Okay, so you lied to me. So you have early dinner and late dinner, one at 5 and one at 7:30, and then you're working till when, 11 p.m.?
Yeah.
So if you don't come in till 2 p.m., when do you get a chance to hit on the kids?
To do what?
Yeah, you played Harrington, did you hear that? He played that off pretty good.
Yeah.
22-year-old slick. I like what he did there. He pretended, he just ignored the question. He's like, are we going to talk about sandwiches or what?
Speaking of ignoring things,
I actually didn't hear that.
It's all good. Yeah,
I just want to clarify from earlier. You said you used to hang out with your high school janitor?
I mean, not a ton, but he was cool, dude.
You were just like outside of school? You guys would just like grab a beer?
No. I meant like when I was like cutting class in the hallway kind of thing, stir up a little conversation. He was a nice guy.
All right. Sorry, that's just been sticking in my craw for a while. Continue with the interview.
However, the synagogue janitor, like when later in life, was a good friend of mine, Rad. His name was Rad. I used to show up when I was still going to synagogue. I would show up at 8 a.m. and I would have beers with Rad in the kitchen. And they do this thing after synagogue. They call it kiddush, where basically they put out cake. So I would eat that with him at 8 in the morning, drink beers, go to services, come back up, drink more beers with him. That guy I was legit friends with. He was the janitor of the synagogue. Dude, I went to him for Super Bowl party. But enough about me and my life. We're trying to solve Chris's lunch problem, which apparently isn't a lunch problem. It's a dinner problem. So, if I'm going to help you out, we got to get the facts straight before we go into this. Like, if you're going to lie to me, there's not really anything I can do for you. I can't help those who aren't willing to help themselves.
Yeah, so sorry, we all call it lunch just because it's the...
I get it. It's the janitor lingo. It's the way you guys kid and joke with each other. All right. So here's the thing. You don't have anything going on all morning. You got a lot of time to cook for yourself, and there's nobody in your apartment when it's time to cook. So I would say you should start dedicating a half hour of your life to really becoming a fucking good cook. I mean, like, really getting your shit down. Because then you'll attract women, too. You start showing up to work. You know, some of these teachers, they're hungry. They're getting off work. And you're like, listen, I packed 2 of these delicious sandwiches. Now let's start simple. What's your favorite bread?
Favorite bread?
Yeah.
Just for sandwiches, probably just straight up white bread.
You're like good with the Wonder Bread. Real garbage janitor person here, Harrington. You know what I mean? He's just like, I'm good with ham. I can't help this kid. He wants to eat prison sandwiches for dinner. That's all he wants is Wonder Bread with some fucking bologna on it. Jesus Christ.
Can I get Spam and mayo with one piece of romaine?
With the meat and cheese. And hot sauce, of course.
Hot sauce. I'm a big fan of hot sauce. All right, fine. Are you a Wonder Bread guy when you're eating white bread? Is that your jam? Wonder Bread?
No, I did. Oh, but also, like, you know that, like, those onion buns that have, like, onions on it?
Fuck you, do I know onion buns? You kidding me? What do you think I jerk off into every night? Onion buns, of course.
That sounds amazing. That must feel pretty good.
It's soft. It's got, like, you know, it's lubricated from all the cooked onions. Yeah, okay. I like an onion bun.
Yeah.
All right, so here's your move. And so you're already familiar. You got a good spot for picking up deli meats, and you got a good spot for picking up your cheeses, right?
Yeah.
And then you're mixing things up. You're throwing some vegetables in these things, a little lettuce, onion, tomato, maybe some mayonnaise mixed with some hot sauce. What's your condiment game looking like?
I usually go with rare roast beef, maybe some pepperoni, cheese, and then corned beef. Corned beef is good.
All right, so here...
I don't know. And whenever I'm at the deli, I'll just look and I'm like, oh, shit, that looks pretty good.
All right, dude, I fucking love a deli sandwich. I like what you're doing. I encourage you to step out of your comfort zone with the breads a little bit. Maybe try some baguettes, maybe bagels. Big fan of rye bread. I don't know that everyone doesn't like rye bread, but maybe mix it up a little bit. So first and foremost, I think you can get a little bit more creative on the breads. But for now, let's just go with your white bread. Let's go with your onion rolls. Let's just keep mixing it up. Let's start loading those up with more deli. I feel like sometimes you're just going for one deli. You'll be like, this is a roast beef. Fuck that. Make it a roast beef turkey. Mix it up. Get it with the right cheese. Personally, I'd probably go cheddar on there. But I understand why someone wants Swiss. Usually Swiss pairs best up with the turkey. You're a janitor. You got plenty of time on your hands. You should have charts going. You should have exactly lined up the right cheese for what meat, what condiments going on there. I mean, you should have deli sandwiches mastered within the next 3 weeks. Okay, so for the next 3 weeks, let's ditch the white bread. Let's get a little bit more adventurous with what kind of breads we're working with, and let's just experiment with condiments, deli meats, different kinds of breads, and different kinds of, I think we covered it. Cheese, meat, bread, condiments. There's a lot of combinations there. We're gonna have you back on, and I want to report on some good sandwiches that you've come up with. I want to hear about the onion roll with your Swiss cheese, lettuce, onion, tomato, with a spicy mustard and horseradish sauce. I don't know. Get fucking creative. Come back to us with some good recipes. Here's a good one. Can I tell you a good one? Really simple. Pretzel roll, pickle, spicy mustard, corned beef. Simple sandwich, fucking delicious. Go make that one for yourself. Try that one out. Tell me it's not the best simple lunch you ever had. Okay, so we're going to do that for a month. I want you just to focus on your deli meats. That's going to be like, what's that, like your blue belt in karate, Harrington? What would you call it?
I'd say at this point, white with like a green stripe.
Yeah, you're going to get your green stripe. You're going to master your simple deli sandwiches, meat, cheese, combo, condiments. That's going to be your base layer. Then from there, we're going to get you cooking. Simple shit. Things that pair up with deli. You know what I mean? Like a simple piece of fried chicken cutlet that you can start pairing with the pastrami. You throw that on I wouldn't go with onion roll. I wouldn't go with the onion roll. Maybe back to the white bread. We'll figure these things out. But are you committed over this month for stepping out of your comfort zone with breads, mixing it up with some different condiments, coming back to us and reporting us on some new sandwiches that you ate?
Most definitely. I want to be I want to be the biggest fat ass possible.
I mean, I want a commitment. I you know what? I also want you to get on the scale, let us know where you're at, and I want you to have gained weight by the end of the month. I want a serious sandwich commitment that you're willing to become the first Run Your Mouth sandwich expert. We haven't given out this, you know what I mean? Other people in the future, they're going to have to pay for this course. Like when they get this criteria and their certificate of Run Your Mouth, Rob Bernstein specified sandwich expert, they're going to be spending money. You're the first person, and I want to know, are you committed to the cause?
I will do it.
Fine.
I will make you proud.
How much weight are you committing to gaining? Well, what's today's date, Mike Harrington?
Today is May 16th.
Okay, it's May 16th. June 16th, when we get you back on the line, I want you to come back to us with 3 solid sandwich recipes, having gained 5 pounds. Can you handle that?
Oh, 5 pounds easy.
All right.
Got that.
I love it. This is my...
So... I'm just tell him to take a picture of himself on the scale tomorrow. Send it to you. We'll tweet it out from with Run Your Mouth and everything with this week's episode, and we'll update it in a month.
Okay, perfect. It's the 1 month sandwich challenge, Chris. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I look forward to getting you back on in another month. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was a pleasure.
All right, later, dude.
Thanks. Have a good night. Bye.
Harrington, what a charming janitor.
I mean, that guy's fucking killing it, dude.
I mean, that guy, the future he's going to have. If we could go back in time and be more like that guy.
Yo, you know how bad I want to be a janitor right now? That motherfucker was like, yeah, I got 2 roommates, but I'm about to move out on my own. I was like, yeah, your parents, your mom and your dad.
And he's going to get a car.
Yeah,
and he's going to get a car. He's got himself a union job. Yeah. Clearly has health care because he looks pretty put together for a guy who's... And he's first getting into sandwich lifestyle. He's got 10 years of overeating ahead of him.
Mind you, it's 11 p.m. Eastern right now, which is actually later than Central Time in Illinois, which means he was home from work by about 9 p.m.
That's not bad.
He didn't get in until 2. He worked a 7-hour day.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah, plus commute. He worked a 6.5-hour day.
And he gets to eat 2 meals while he's there.
I mean,
I'll take cleaning up some pissed on toilet paper whatevers.
Yeah, especially since I know I'm one of the kids who pissed on it, and I turned out terribly. So if I'm sitting there like with
That's
a
funny. You
union
pulled that
job,
move. I never really did that shit.
I mean, I didn't do it on purpose. I just had bad aim, dog.
I had this friend. I'll throw his first name a shout out because I bet some people listening to this. There's this kid Kevin. Really, I mean, if you went back to high school, he was the funny kid in my high school. I was not. This kid was the funny kid. And 2 of his bits that were hilarious. One is he would take shits and he would just shit with the stall door open. And he'd sit there with the newspaper. He'd make a half-hour process out of it, and he would just make conversation with you. Like, even teachers, like, that was a committed bit, was he was going to take a dump with the stall door open and just make conversation with you like that was normal. Hilarious.
Okay, that kid, I'm going to assume either murdered 3 people by the time he was 24 or is like a successful small business owner.
You know, let's go with quasi-successful small business owner. Funny, really funny kid.
Extremely successful small business owner.
The other thing he did, which was hilarious, and I only know one person that he did this to, but someone was taking a shit. He walked into the stall next to them and just started pissing on their shoes.
That's fucking incredible.
I mean, that's such a funny thing to do to someone during the school day, and you're trapped. You're in the middle of taking a shit. You can't. What are you gonna do? Get up and try and beat up the person next to you?
No.
You just have to basically lift up your feet and scream. I mean, don't do that. Like, it's not cool as an adult, and I would never do that. I never want to have it done to me. But you hear the story, and it's fucking hilarious. All right, let's get Yosef on the phone. Oh, yes, and the shirt is back off, getting comfy, cozy late at night. Welcome back to the podcast, buddy. How are you?
After dark. So good to be here.
Oh, my God, is it nice to have you.
That
All right.
must have been the fucking best janitor in the world.
Dude.
To hold me up for fucking, you made me sweat it out.
I apologize. The kid's fascinating. He's a winner. He went to one community college class, said, fuck this. His dad got him a union job as a janitor. He doesn't have to get there till 2 p.m. He's out of work by 8 p.m. He gets to eat 2 meals while he's at work. But here's the best part of it. He's committed to becoming the first person that we're going to give a degree to as a sandwich expert. We won't just sanction anybody. And here was his first homework assignment. He's not making himself great meals. He's got time at work, so he's going to experiment. And a month from now, he's going to come back to us with 3 solid deli sandwiches with unique bread, cheese, meat, and condiment combinations. That's what I told him to focus on. Keep it simple. Just come back to me at the end of the month. You can go his own way. Like, here was a recommendation I gave. I was like, here's a real simple one that's delicious. Pretzel roll with corned beef, a pickle, and spicy brown mustard. That is a delicious combination. Find me a cleaner sandwich that doesn't just come together better than that. So I told him...
You could get cleaner.
No, I mean, in terms of clean, that's pretty clean. That's not overdoing it. That's not layering on cheese. That's not throwing mayonnaise in there. That's not even throwing vegetables. I'm saying that's almost like a clean Class E. That's like a old lady finger food operation. That's pretty clean. So anyways, his homework was to come back to us with 3 solid sandwich combinations, all in the deli meat category, and to gain 5 pounds by the end of the month. and he took it to get his blue belt, and then we'll keep delegating some new tasks until ultimately he become a black belt expert sandwich eater like us. So he's gonna try and climb the ranks. I'm excited to see if he progresses and actually has the commitment to become a sandwich expert.
It's got to be the youngest janitor ever.
22 years old.
That's like...
It's pretty young. Pretty young.
That's some like LeBron shit.
That's when he really got the energy to clean out toilets and make sure that things look nice and fresh for kids the next day. It's not like these old guys who...
You think a janitor and you think like, all right, minimum 50.
Yeah. You think it's like end of life, you really gave up. This is beginning of life, going on the right track.
Like a crusty 50.
Yeah.
At least. someone who's seen some shit.
All right. Well, while in No. Continue your thought that janitors are crusty and have seen some shit.
I can't trust this guy yet. A 22-year-old janitor. I don't know if he. Whatever. Well,
he really wants to devote his time to eating sandwiches and acquiring some of the knowledge that you and I have had to work so hard while working full-time jobs in order to acquire.
Yes. It's tough. It's tough out there.
All right. So while we're encouraging this kid to get out there and gain weight, I'm trying to figure out new ways that I can lose some weight myself. And here's the newest thing I'm doing. I want to know if it's a terrible idea, great idea. I think you might be able to help me out on this. I love how hairy you are. Oh my! And like in the spots, it grows.
Doesn't it make you warm?
It's like a.
It makes you like feel.
Oh my god!
It's like a sweater.
It's like a carpet of ants that just fell into glue or something. All right. So the other day, I went to there's a Banana Republic factory store across the street from my apartment. Now, what's convenient about that is that it's across the street, and I live in a kind of poor neighborhood, and it's a factory store, so you know it's going to be cheap. I had a client meeting. I never meet clients, and now all of a sudden I realize, I don't have any clothing. I need some actual adult clothing so I can look like a human being. So I show up with the intentions of just buying a shirt, and then the Jew in me can't believe the discounts, because, I mean, not only are things marked down, they're marked down with percentage off, like 70% off, 60% off. Now I got to run the math in my head. It feels like I'm losing money if I don't start buying some pants. So I redo my entire wardrobe. I bought 7 pairs of pants. I bought 8 shirts, and I tried on these pairs of pants. A couple days later, I put them on again. None of them fit. They're all too tight. I don't know. I guess I was drawn.
You're just being very optimistic.
Yeah, I was drawn in by the sales price, and I was like, all right, they're a little tight, but it's okay. Now, I remember in the past, I've gone up in weight. Yes.
It wasn't like you were looking for your size. It was like, these 29 by 28 is 90% off. I won't fit into them right now, but I gotta buy them.
Right. I can't not buy it at that price. No. So I bought my size. However, my size now at Banana Republic, they're going for some real European shaven twinks. So everything's like
that's why I've never stepped foot in a Banana Republic, because I just know it's just not going to work out for
your body type. Yeah, dude, it's
dimensions.
It's all slim fit, and their slim fit shit, it might as well be Spanx. It's like their slim fit shirt would work for me if I wanted Spanx underneath a sweater to contain my tits. It's basically a male bra. That's what their slim fit is. But then they have their non-slim fit, which is fine. And then I've been a 32 by 30 for a while. I've stuck to my 32. I'm a 32 waist.
You claim you're a fat guy, but you're not.
I am, dude. Well, here's why I am. I'll explain why I am. Firstly, I've got tits. I'm top heavy. You know what I mean? Okay. I don't look good with the shirt off. That's one. Like, I got more tit than you. You're more gut, fat thighed, fat back, but you don't. Tits, yeah, those are some titties. Oh, God, those are some titties. We might have to put out this footage. Those are some titties. Anyways, no. Well, here's what makes me a fat guy. Firstly, I've gone up and down in weight from between 155 and 200 pounds up and down for a while. Now, at the moment, I've been on the lower scale, but I also know
155 in 4th grade.
Not bad. I went in. The biggest jump I ever had was I went to high school freshman year at 135 and put on 30 pounds to 165. That was a big jump. And then the next biggest jump was in Israel. I went up from 165 to 195. I was pretty heavy in 190 because I'm short. I'm only 5'6", dude. 195 at 5'6". That's a fat guy. That's not chubby. That's fucking fat, dude. Anyways.
Right.
But now I would say I'm not the fattest I've been, but I can also tell you I put on 20 pounds over the last 2 years, and it's because I'm eating healthy. If you look at it financial trend lines, if you continue to put on 10 pounds every year, that means in 3 years from now, I'm a fat guy again. That's the way that works. It's not like you just put it on in 1 year. And then also it's all about, it's more the habits and the trend line. That's true. I could turn it around now and I would remain chubby / I could reverse it to skinny. But I'm saying if you're looking at a growth chart, weight growth chart to eating habits, I'm on an upward trajectory towards fatness. But we're trying to change this around. Now, I've had in the past where you get too fat for your pants. And that always, to me, is a landmark moment in your fat fuckery, because usually I find it kind of fucks with your digestion a little bit, so it like increases your fatness, kind of gets stuff trapped in your gut. But then it's also, you have that moment where you're like, I can't go buy new, like you don't want to admit to it. And now I'm doing the reverse thing where I bought all these pants that don't fit, and I'm forcing myself to wear it to shame myself into fitting into the pants. Because like I'll go out, I'll be like, dude, you can't, your pants don't even fit. You're really gonna go eat that? It works. I'm shaming myself.
Oh, so like, it's not even shaming. It's more like you're not gonna be able to properly walk.
Well, that's happening
Get
too.
back to your apartment. Yeah.
Well, it's not that tight.
You're not gonna be able to.
Except I'm already cheating the system. Today I've just unlocked the pants and I got the belt for support. So
I just cut the entire waistband off.
Yeah. I was like,
so they're not even pants right now. They're kind of capris that just kind of hang out on my knees.
Yeah. What have you had that recently where you got too fat for pants and had to actually go shopping for new pants? It's a sad moment. I'm getting too fat for all my shirts. I'm starting to show titties. Like I gotta go. I'm like at that point. I gotta lose weight, or I gotta go to medium to large. It's one or the other.
So like, there's maybe like, it's so sad. That's why I don't wear a shirt at home. Because
oh, you want to let it out? That's the first thing I do now. I take the pants off.
Yeah. I'm saying like I feel like, I don't know, 1 out of every 3 shirts that I have actually fit. Like it's okay. So for every 3 shirts, there's one that's too small.
Yeah.
There's one that's too big, and one that actually fits potentially properly.
Just right. You know what it is? You end up getting your exercise in just pulling down your shirt all day, like pulling that move to like try and straighten it out. My dad, this is what happens if you end up being, a fat fuck over the course of a lifetime. You end up with a closet that's basically like owning a store of 20 ranges of sizes.
I think he might have the like
the largest range. I mean, if you wanted to have a contest of weight ranges, my dad, unbelievable. He's really running the test for how much you can stretch out your skin and bring it back in. It's like a balloon. Every couple of years, you inflate it out, and then you let some of the air back out. Harrington,
you're right.
What's your take on the tight pants to diet thing?
So what I've started doing, like I finally broke down, got some 42s, and I have not stopped rocking them, even though I'm down to about a 38. So I just pull the belt in real tight, have plenty of room. It's nice.
Pull it up to your chin.
Nah, man.
So I feel like I've actually learned the error of my ways, that for a while I was wearing jeans that were way too loose. And I feel like the problem with that is you leave yourself the room to gain a lot of weight without really feeling the repercussions of it, because you're almost just fitting back into your fat clothes. So it's actually important as you lose the weight to buy the clothes that fit, so that you know right away, like you got to actually confront the fact that you're getting fat. But
hold on. Now that Harrington's here.
Yes.
Harrington, as a true fat guy, we're brethren in this. Do you feel insulted that Robbie even brought up that he was a 32 and considers himself a fat guy?
Dog, you can't be a fat guy who rocks medium. Like, that was the egregious part to me.
Do I not?
A medium, motherfucker? This is America.
I feel like
a medium would be like, it would reach the bottom of my tits.
You'd be wearing like that sexy got milk like poster that just kind of showed the top half and not the bottom. I feel like if you've hung out with me enough and eaten, like I went out to eat last week with Gay Mike, and we're sitting there eating, and he's like, dude, you're the skinniest fat guy I ever met. So I've got fat fuckery habits. I've been fat. I'm climbing back up. And you know what? I don't need your guys' validation of the fact that I feel fat.
No, you're the Rachel Dolezal of fat Pete. You're like, I'm a fat guy on the inside.
That's funny.
Fuck you.
That's funny. I'm just saying, I don't look good with the shirt off. That to me is the cry. Like if you're a dude and you got tits, you're fat.
I don't give a fuck. Like,
well, you're married. You already got 9 kids.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I've lost the whole Yeah, I it's like not giving a fuck at all.
All right, listen, enough of this fat fuckery talk. Gain weight, lose weight, I don't care. Here's a more important issue. You know that little bodega down the street with the good sandwiches?
I've been called out on being a fake fat guy.
So you know that little bodega on the corner? I think I got to rule them out forever. I think I got to be done with them. They did something horrendous to me today, and I want to know. I want you to rule on this case.
The one that you've been like eating at every single day.
Yeah. I want you to rule on this case. I bet if they ran the math, I got to be one of their best customers. I'm telling you. For this past year I've got to be number one,
solid customer,
maybe number 2 customer. I'm in there every day. I eat at least one meal there. I probably make bodega runs down there. I am a damn good customer. So on top of being a damn good customer, is there all the time.
This is probably going to make me so angry.
Oh, it's going to make you so angry. On top of that, I'll
tell you right now, I bet I side with the deli.
I don't eat cheese.
Ooh.
And when I say I don't eat cheese late at night, I'll eat cheese. I don't eat cheese during the day because it really fucks up my stomach. You know, that's my fat credentials for you. Now, every time that I get a sandwich and I tell them, hey, I'll take that sandwich, but without the cheese, do you think they change the price for you? No. The answer is no. They charge you what the sandwich is. They charge you. That's fine. Now, a lot of times I go in there and I don't have cash on me and I end up buying more than what I wanted simply because they have a credit card minimum. I respect having a credit card minimum. Today was one of those days. I was getting myself very simple. Bagel and egg. That's it. Real simple meal. I know I'm not going to meet the credit card minimum. There was some turkey in there too, maybe some hot peppers. So let's do the sandwich. It was whole wheat bagel, eggs, turkey, whole jalapeno peppers. Okay?
$4.75.
Probably. Now, I know I'm not going to reach the credit card minimum, so I get myself a naked juice. I don't even want the naked juice, but I was like, fuck it. I could use some vitamin C in my life. I seem to be coughing a whole bunch. Maybe I could come down with the cold. Let me get myself a naked drink. That's going to be $4. I'm like, you know what? I got water in the office, but I got to reach this minimum. I'll grab a seltzer too. So I got myself a seltzer and a naked juice, $6 of expenditures of things I don't really need, but I want to hit their credit card minimum, right? They ring me up, and then, the lady, after she rings me up, she realizes, oh, you got the jalapeno peppers, you owe me 50 cents.
Oh, no.
And now I have to actually reach into my pocket, find $1, hand it to her to get the 50 cents back. And in my head, I'm thinking, I'm too good of a customer. I've only bought these other things to reach your credit card minimum. I can't believe you're asking me for 50 cents after all all the sandwiches I bought here. You're going to make me reach into my wallet for physical currency to give you 50 cents. We are done. There was no loyalty here whatsoever.
No, there's literally only one possibility for them being in the right. And I have one question for you.
Okay.
What was the situation in terms of other customers in the store or behind you in line?
It was busy. It wasn't like I was the only person in the store. There were people there.
They have to.
What do you think? It's a precedent? She didn't have to mention the fact that those peppers exist. Like, she didn't have to. She made the error, and then she realized.
Once she realized it, and she said it you can't really turn back when there's a crowd. It's one thing if she's like, oh, yeah, don't worry about it when no one else is there.
Right. I don't think I'm gonna venture to guess that no one was.
I still side with you. That's just tacky.
No, zero customer loyalty. You're coming after me after 50 cents. I just spent an extra $6.50 on dumb shit to reach your fucking credit card minimum.
They don't know that.
Well, I get that they don't know that, but doesn't mean in my head I can't be angry about it. I'm trying to be courteous here.
I want to hear Harrington's take because he
actually
going to side with the deli regardless.
We have a special guest who wants to give his take on it.
Yeah, come give your take. Welcome to the show, BK Chris, straight from the HSR radio show. Just put in a double, but he's like, I want to do more. I'm not done. I'm not done podcasting. I heard they're running their mouths next door. I want to run my mouth also. Welcome to the show. What's up, buddy?
I heard a Jew was yelling about something that happened at a
Not just yelling about something that happened at deli, yelling about 50 cents at a deli.
What happened to you at the deli?
Oh, man, what? I got to recount the whole story? I'll make it real short. I'll make it real short. I eat at that deli all the time. I spend a lot of money.
The one on the corner.
All the time. And I was there today.
I get the 101 usually. Turkey, coleslaw. I think coleslaw on a sandwich is something your people prefer.
I actually don't like coleslaw. I'm anti-coleslaw. If it's like a part of a staple sandwich, maybe I'll try it out, but it's not my thing. I'm not into coleslaw.
All right.
I do like sauerkraut, though. I'll fuck with some sauerkraut.
So what happened to you with this 50 cents?
Okay. I was in the store. I was getting myself bagel, egg, turkey, jalapeno peppers. That's all I want. I don't have cash on me, so I got to hit the minimum. So I get myself a naked, I get myself a seltzer. I'm in this place every day. I promise you, if you run the math, I'm one of the top customers in that store. I would bet on you if there's a top 10 list, I'm in the top 10.
But they don't know that.
Unless-
They're weird Asian guys.
No, it's enough of the same people there that see me every day that they know I'm one of the better customers.
Yeah, but we all look the same to them.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's really funny.
Huh?
He's saying that they just think we're one person.
Exactly.
So if anything, my account's really good. Like, she thinks I'm like 9 people who keep coming back for sandwiches.
Oh, that one rich American keep us in business.
Anyways, they mischarged me short by 50 cents, noticed it, and then said, hey, you got to give us another 50 cents. What most aggravated me about that was that I don't get cheese on my sandwiches. Every time I'm dropping cheese, it's not like they're giving me back that amount of money.
But this is the classic.
Yeah.
Burger King used to do a thing where they would, you could have it your way.
Oh, wait, you know Yosef, right? Wait, did we lose Yosef?
Well, he's not there anymore.
I think, did you hang up on Yosef when...
His shoulder hair was looking real sexy to me.
I think Yosef's just
No,
gone.
he's there. I just didn't want to double up his audio, and I didn't realize when I took him off screen that his audio would
We'll
disappear.
put it back on screen.
What the fuck does that mean?
All right, I'll put it
I've been
back on
trying to
screen.
chime in on this shit.
I just prefer standing. That's
That's
what
the weirdest fucking thing.
I like standing. I need to get one of these desks like in my
What is
office. I
happening?
don't like sitting down. There he is. He's back.
There
All
we
right.
go.
You guys know each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Okay. BK Chris is trying to give his ruling about why I'm being a cheap Jew over 50 cents with Asians.
No. I didn't think I was going to agree with you on this when you started. But I'll tell you this. Asian people are kind of the worst with that shit. Just Asian corner stores. I remember there's one, they would, instead of charging you just a quarter for a banana, they would weigh the banana.
Fuck you.
Yeah, what?
Just to get the 31 cents, I
Yeah.
can't just hand you a quarter and move on with my life.
Exactly.
You need the extra 3 pennies.
They are kind of just like, they'll literally be like, it's
They're the Jews of
305.
corner stores.
It's just like, I've looked at anybody who does that. If something's like anything less than a quarter, and I hand you a large bill,
Yeah, and you
if
make
you don't
me.
just let it
yeah.
go. It's like I'm kind of just like, all right, like that
Here's where
tip
they-
jar is staying empty.
Here's where they also lose out on that. And we spoke about this. This goes all the way back to, I think, episode 3. But when you do that, you're encouraging me to use my credit card because I don't want change in my
Which
wallet.
costs you.
Which costs you the percentage point. If you were a place like Starbucks and you just rounded everything to the dollar, you would, or you figured out, change your cup size so that instead of it being $2.09 with tax, it works out to $2. I will not use my credit card at Starbucks. You will make more money.
But they figured most people are just going to use their credit card because most people are going to use like anybody. Who
I've
complains
changed
about
over to the
price of
credit
things-
card because the cash situation with change is fucking annoying.
Yeah, but they want everybody on the app anyway.
You know what I do?
That's true. They're like, you walk in there now as a physical customer, they're like, excuse me, sir, people have the courtesy to order online and not show up to our store. Please wait a minute.
Really?
They don't want you there. They're like, wait, hold on. We've got 40 online orders. You're going to have to wait your turn. Online comes first. He's right. They want your info. They want you on the app.
Here's the change move, though. And this is something I recently figured out. Just keep your change in your back pocket, right? If the change is in your back pocket, then it's easily accessible. You can use it for your next transaction
Right.
for the day. I always keep change, like, I'll move it from pocket to pocket in my
Right.
pants.
You know what I do sometimes? It's a real dick move, but it's I'll just turn my entire wallet over on the counter to shake out what change is in there, put what they need, and then put the rest back in my wallet. Yosef, what's your change move?
I try to rid myself of it. I'll just like leave it.
Yeah, I do
I'll
that
hold on to
too.
Quarters, but like anything not quarters, I don't know. Like
I can't hear him.
if there's a tip jar or some shit, like I don't want that.
All right, so I only had one last topic that I wanted to address. BK Chris, I think you'll be able to decipher what I'm talking about here. The other day, I was at my aunt's for Mother's Day, and at the end of the meal, she put out an old school tray of Baldotti's cookies. So just to give you an idea, the Italian bakery in Connecticut, really
Sprinkles, jelly in the middle.
No, it wasn't. It was actually like the small, like cinnamon ones. You had the small black and whites. You had the small one with the butter cookies with the jelly in the middle. All those just old school Italian cookies, right? I ate the entire plate of these. I mean, I went ham, ate the plate. It was delicious. And I was thinking back when I was like a 13-year-old in the synagogue, they used to do two different like post service, like they call it kiddush, but it's basically like a spread of cakes. Okay. At the early one, they would put out your Drake's cakes. Okay. You know, your prepackaged Drake's cakes. And I thought that was the greatest thing in the world. And then the later one, they'd put out like those Italian cookies. And I was like, oh, these old people have the worst taste. That's garbage.
But those are like way better to me now.
And that's what I'm saying.
When I was a kid,
it totally flipped where it's like you put a Drake. I'm like, what the fuck is this garbage? And those like old lady cookies, I'm like, this is quality cookies. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
The one thing I've never got on board with, those Italian cookies with the sesame seeds on them, I still fucking hate those.
Yeah, it's because Asian's Italian. That's not going to work out. Yeah, that's not even a real cookie.
Yeah, that's like a side dish.
That's like a moldy bread. That's what that is. Yeah. It's like you're supposed to dip it in tea and make your tea and cookie bad at the same time.
That's like a trick. It's like a prank of the bakery. They want to see if people actually eat them.
But, all right, so we're all in agreement. I guess the taste buds just change.
No, that's not true. I would much rather a yodel than
you go for a yodel.
Really?
Any Italian cookie.
Even from
I don't have yodels that much, so like if I saw them, it would be like very nostalgic and like.
I think I'd have that be in a mood. I enjoy. I'll have a yodel. You know what I had on the way here was a fudge round, also from Little Debbie. You know the fudge round.
Oh man, I can't even think of the last time I had a fudge round.
Soft chocolate cookies with like stripes of chocolate cookie on it, pressed together with chocolate cream.
That sounds delicious because the Little Debbie oatmeal cream pie is a fucking classic.
It's a classic. It's basically the chocolate oatmeal cream pie.
Yeah, and also the even though the oatmeal cream pie is the classic, I gotta tell you, the chocolate chip one with the cream in the middle.
Yeah, fudge rounds. You never had a fudge round? Come on.
I'm not saying I haven't, but it doesn't stand out to me. Where did you pick up the fudge round? I've never had a
fudge round.
Corner store.
Can I just tell you, when I was in high school and I discovered that the Little Debbie cookie existed at the Far Bodega for 50 cents, that was like one of the greatest moments of my life. That was like finding the Holy Grail.
Because they're cheaper than a candy bar. It was like it was a quarter when I was a kid, and then like a candy bar was 50 cents. Now it's 50 cents and $1. Like, I don't need a Snickers bar. I get a
little
Funny Bones. You know what I mean?
Funny Bones are good. I
would go
through
like a box of those oatmeal cream pies.
Yeah, like it's nothing.
It's like you wouldn't even think twice.
But the ones that come
oatmeal cream pie, that's when you come in an old lady, right?
I'm just thinking of old lady pussy. All right. Fuck, I don't know what the hell's going on with my voice. All right, I think that's basically all that I had to discuss. Yosef, I got you on the air though. If you had anything you wanted to throw at us, anything that came up this week? Well, you sent me that article about the Game of Thrones outrage. Are you a person who's actually following the show, or you just thought that was interesting?
No, of course I'm watching Game of Thrones, and I very much disliked the last episode, but people to protest and demand that they remake the last season is preposterous.
Well,
They're not protesting. They're clicking a thing online, though. I'm sure it auto-populates. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing
it's just like one of those like online...
It's an online change.org petition.
We are, however, in.
Here's the funny thing. We were just talking about this on High Society. They did 500,000 people sign that petition in a day. To overturn the abortion law was like 20,000.
That's hilarious. That is so funny. Here's the only thing. We're in a new era of television where people are okay with the idea of things being canon and not canon.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people to go, hey, this isn't the version that we liked, and for them to hire a new director, put out a new ending, and to get all those ratings again, you could do that, and then you could actually, everyone would be on board with, all right, we're going to go with this version, it was better. So it's actually not as crazy as in the past when it was like, this is the version of the TV show, and that's kind of because of the superheroes and all the relaunches and all that shit that we're kind of okay with, like, it's okay as a concept. Now, I did the greatest move for Game of Thrones. I got a policy. I won't watch old television because I won't leave my house. If I start a show, that's it. Like I gotta see it through.
I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah, like I'll binge it. I don't like that. It's compulsive. It's like one of those things.
I get weird about it.
I'm like out of control. I don't like it. So I'm very strict. I won't start old television. So Game of Thrones, everyone was talking about, but it was already like 4 seasons in when I was hearing all the buzz. So I was like, I can't go back. Mm-hmm. Then I read the news every day. I'm reading so much about this epic new season, and I was a fan of The Lord of the Rings. I'm sitting at home one day, and I was like, okay, I got to YouTube these battle scenes. I'm just kind of curious. So I YouTubed the big battle scenes, and then from there, I was like, oh, this is pretty fucking awesome. So I watched all the battle scenes. Then I watched like recaps, like people of like the Spark Notes. I kind of did my Wikipedia research, watched the recaps, went back, watched the biggest episodes, and then I just hopped on board for the last season, kind of caught up on the storyline. And now what's great about it is like I have a show that I look forward to on Sunday nights, and if it sucks, I'm not that invested. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like I'm enjoying it. It's entertaining, but I don't have an 8-year investment.
It since it started.
Yeah.
Maybe like I came in at the end of season 1. I'm not that invested. You know what I mean? Like it's just like
right.
What's the most mad you guys have ever gotten about a TV show that's fallen off?
I've never gotten that mad.
All right, I'm gonna label a couple. First one, Lost. I was super invested in Lost, and when you found out at the end that they didn't have that story put together, like the whole point was like the earlier seasons where they had this grand mystery and it seemed like they had the whole thing put together, and then you got to the end and you realized, you never really had a story here. That one fucking pissed me off. Next is, this one didn't bother me because I didn't feel as invested, but at some point The Walking Dead just turned bad and I stopped watching it.
Walking Dead, I watched like one episode. My girlfriend watched the first couple of seasons, and I was just like, this show sucks.
I love that show.
I watched about 10 minutes of it.
I watched that show for the other one was Dexter. Dexter was one of the biggest, like, great to just unwatchable.
I'll tell you this. I've realized I've been binging shows and realized they suck while I'm binging them and stopped.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough not to, like, have to just feel like you got to see it through.
Ray Donovan was a big one.
I didn't like that one right from the outset.
Here's the thing. That guy was just kind of a badass. And I was just like, oh, he's got nice watches and shit. I'm fucking with this. And then I was just like, oh, this sucks. Once he started pushing around the FBI director, I was like, this sucks.
Yo, you know what I did that with recently? Deadwood.
Fuck you. Deadwood is great. Mike Harrington is a noted pussy for not liking Deadwood.
I haven't watched Deadwood, but great actors in that.
You watched the whole thing?
No, I gave up halfway through the binge. I was like, this show fucking sucks.
Aren't the two guys from Justified in that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oliphant is Ian McShane in Justified?
I like Oliphant. Good actor, Oliphant.
Yeah. How do you not like that show?
It's not
the manliest show, and that's why you don't like it. You're not a man.
It's not a good show.
It's just about whorehouses and... Did you get to the part where they're fucking up all the Chinese people?
No.
Yeah, this.
What the fuck?
How do you quit before that? That's the whole point. You're
wearing Chinaman masks.
Yeah, you get into
they're fucking gutting dudes with axes and shit.
Yeah,
you fucking stink, Harrington.
Dude, that's the whole point.
It was a boring first season.
Get the fuck out of here.
Stink.
You get into a fight with your Chinaman at the bodega about 50 cents, and then you get to watch Deadwood and feel fucking redeemed. That's the whole point of it, Harrington.
They killed mad of the whoremongering Chinaman in Chinatown in Deadwood.
Wait, did we lose Yosef again?
No, he's here.
All right.
Oh my God. We're through the looking glass with this shit.
Yeah, because Deadwood's fucking lame, right, Yosef?
This is fucking trippy as shit, man. It's just bald spots for days. Okay. Before we call it an episode...
That's the episode title.
Bald spot for days. Before we call it an episode, Mr. Feldstein, any parting topics, any parting sandwiches you want to tell us about? Anything you feel like we should be informed of before we let you go?
I actually... did make a makeshift sandwich this week.
Wait, can we give him dramatic music? I feel like this requires dramatic music. Before, do you have anything you want to bring up before we close out?
I've got a good sandwich. Zach Amico put me on to one of the best sandwich. I always Leone's in Bensonhurst.
Okay.
Has a sandwich. It's a roast beef sandwich, and I never would get roast beef from an Italian deli because it seems crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's roast beef, entire stuffed mushrooms, and then gravy, fresh mozzarella. It doesn't sound. It sounds like maybe not.
You got
delicious.
me. You got me on the. When you threw
You're not going to trust Zach Amico on sandwich recommendations?
That's funny. You throw in the gravy, the fresh mozzarella, and I'll be like, all right, I'll vibe and see if the mushrooms work for me. I'm not a huge mushroom fan, but I respect the same. What kind of bread?
Italian bread.
Italian bread. Okay. Yosef.
So
this is your moment.
This was a great moment in sandwich history. It was oh, this is great. It was spaghetti and meatballs night at the Feldstein residence, and the wife also got some garlic bread. And I kind of ditched the whole spaghetti thing and just did, as many meatballs with sauce on the garlic bread. That was
Can I interrupt for 1 second? Did you slice the meatballs so it'd be a cleaner eat on the sandwich, or you went in whole?
I did have the meatballs.
And this is like a marinara sauce style meatball.
Oh yeah. Not
Fuck
like
yeah.
Sour, like it was fucking great. And like I always think that like the garlic bread with spaghetti and meatballs a little overkill, like too much.
No, get the fuck
bread,
out of
but
here.
It is the perfect compliment. And I don't know, there was just something about that. It was crispy, had the sauce all seeping into almost to the bottom of it. It's fucking delicious.
All right. Well, thank you for that epic sandwich tale. A simple classic garlic bread with meatballs.
Nothing
classic.
too crazy.
I like when pizzerias make the big garlic knot and then they make a chicken parm on it.
I haven't had that. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Where have you had that?
I don't know. Some places have it. Originals Pizza has it in Brooklyn.
That sounds fucking excellent.
Yeah.
Let's do that sometime. That sounds like a world-class sandwich.
What's a giant garlic knot?
Like basically it's just a garlic knot, but they make it the size of a roll. And then
No, I get it. Do they also kind of flatten it, like press it down a little bit?
Well, yeah, it's a little pressed down. It's roll size, like so you can eat it like.
Wait, so they slice it in the middle and put the parm.
Yeah, they make a big garlic knot, slice it, make a chicken parm, and then cut it down the middle so you can eat it like a sandwich.
That sounds excellent.
Yeah.
Are you on board with that, Yosef? That sounds pretty great to me.
Bigger than I could even imagine, though.
I
can't even piece together like how big that because I picture garlic knots and they're like, I don't know, like
mini. You've never thought of an oversized. It's like a pretzel roll. It's like the equivalent of a pretzel roll to a pretzel. It's the garlic knot roll for a garlic knot. All right, that's our episode. Run Your Mouth Podcast. Let's run some plugs. Yosef, you can catch him at work Monday through Friday. If you need some bonds, you can hit him up. BK Chris on HSR radio show or
Society Radio, free every Tuesday on iTunes. Just go get that. I'm at Chris from BKLYN on Twitter.
Fuck yeah. And then lastly, Harrington with Anxiety Attack.
Next Thursday. He's not paying attention, but Anxiety Attack
Alex,
next Thursday.
Alex jumped in right as you guys were kicking me for plugs.
Anything else you want to plug?
Yeah, Anxiety Attack next Thursday. We got Dante Nero headlining. It's going to be an incredible show. Come on out. Use promo code AA for $10 tickets, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at themharrington because I'm non-binary now. What's up?
All right, we did it. Cheers, everybody. Thank you.